by accident, if you want to make an intentional decision, one way or the other, you decide, you'll act on it. I have a position on that, but that's not the point. The point is, this was done accidentally. We intentionally want to be an open carry city, let's so state. If we do not want the unregulated open carry of firearms in the city of Topeka by just anybody, let's so state. And then we'll act, then your law enforcement department will act accordingly, and will know how to interact with people who are armed in public, who then end up in a not necessarily a confrontation, but who end up in an engagement with police officers. So that's my only point in it. It came to our attention by people who asked us if Topeka was an open carry city. My original research indicated we weren't, by talking to senior commanders of the police department, only then to find out we were, and then we find out, as Councilmember Hill pointed out, for years we were, and then we weren't by accident. From this point forward, let's decide what we're going to do, put it out there, and we'll know how to act.
According to Chief Miller, I just want to compliment the legal staff and the department to bring this to our attention so it can be addressed. I think a very appropriate aspect to bring before us. Mr. Walker?
Chief, how would you enforce, the guy standing on the bridge with the light, do you have to have probable cause, just like any other thing? I mean,
hello.
Standing with no probable cause.
At this stage of the game, we had that exact happen, and Councilmember Archer's question about has this been a problem, has this been an issue? There have been a couple of incidents. One was a person walking on the Kansas Avenue Bridge with a scoped rifle. I use that as one example. The other example was a citizen walking in Clarion on Wanamaker who intentionally did that, wore a green reflective vest, carrying his video camera, walking the dog, intentionally intending to invoke stares, looks, attention, and got that attention pretty quick from 3 police officers, called by the people who live in Clarion, who said, "What's this?" We responded, the officers knew the law, the officers knew the procedure, the man was talked to it, allowed to continue, because there's no law to prevent that. The point is, at what point does it become a threat? The weapon is holstered, that's one issue. The weapon is now not holstered. The weapon is now down at the side. The weapon is now aimed level to the ground. That it is or is not pointed at something. At what point does that become a confrontation? At what point does a person with a scoped rifle on the Kansas Avenue Bridge aiming it at downtown become a point where we can stop that person or literally accost them and find out what are we supposed to do at this point? Is it okay loaded? Is it okay aimed at the city? Is it okay level to the ground? Is it okay aimed at a building downtown? Is it okay for a guy to be on top of the building with a rifle? Is that okay? At what point do we say, we have an ordinance that prohibits this action from this point? Now we can take law enforcement authority and not violate rights and arrest on probable cause. At what point does this become more than just a possession of a weapon issue? Yes, sir.
Well, I guess I missed the answer for the bill. I was discussing paragraph A, not open carry, first on the loaded firearm. How are you going to determine and enforce loaded? Just because I'm standing there on the corner with a gun in my hand,
Right.
and you enforce that.
Right. And to answer that directly, the police officers will default and assume the weapon's loaded all the time, every time. Always assume every weapon is loaded all the time, every time, until you have information or prove it's not. So we will assume any weapon in that position is loaded.
Just so that you could clarify, you mentioned that by accidentally cutting this loose, anyone without license or training or anything like that would be able to carry it down. Yet our concealed carry law requires someone to be licensed and approved to carry that. Could you just clarify for everyone, mention what kind of qualifications someone has to have for concealed carry?
I happen to be a supporter of open carry, although a lot of police chiefs may not be. I've always been a supporter of open carry, and still. You have to have a record check. You have to apply for the concealed carry permit through the local sheriff's office. The fees are collected, the backgrounds are run. There is a concealed carry coordinator who works in the Office of the Attorney General, who coordinates concealed carry throughout the state. There are requirements under the law. There are requirements before you get the concealed carry permit. There are requirements after you get the concealed carry permit that govern conduct. All of those things are established in state law, and all those are fine. In this particular case, unregulated means there are no regulations. You can openly carry, no background check, no investigation, no discussion about ability to obtain the permit. None of that. Unregulated open carry of loaded firearms that we think is a problem that we should address.
Now, did you mean that you were in favor of open carry or concealed carry?
I'm a supporter of concealed carry. I'm not a supporter of this open carry, unregulated open carry.
Thank you. That
God, regulate straight to the ground, dude.
I'm a supporter of concealed carry. I apologize. I'm clearly a supporter of concealed carry. I think unregulated open carry in a city of the size of Topeka with the demographics of Topeka is a problem.
Do you support the Constitution?
unregulated carry, is there an age limit?
No. It's unregulated. There are no regulations for carrying. Yes, ma'am.
And then on open carry, is there an age limit?
On concealed carry,
On concealed carry?
there is an age limit requirement by state statute.
That's age
It's regulated, yes. 21,
21.
I believe so.
But you can go to war and die at 18.
All right, Chief. Thank you very much. This is on part one comment I want to make. I don't know if you were here in February of 2007, but what disappoints me is that when we repealed our Code 54-101, which prohibited carrying other firearms in public places, when we adopted the 2006 Uniform Public Defense Code, at least I rely on staff to go through a major revision like that with a fine-tooth comb and tell us if it conflicts and how it conflicts with existing law. My recollection, I don't recall anyone telling us back in 2007 that if we adopt UPSC that we are repealing this our ordinance regarding carrying loaded firearms. So I'm a little disappointed in staff that we didn't get that kind of analysis back in 2007. And I know there have been occasions when we have been presented with a uniform law that revokes or repeals the body of ordinance, and I'm more than a little worried about it. I'm doing that because I'm never quite confident that we've gone through it to find it come. And this is a perfect example where this looks in cracks. And as a council person, I expect our staff to have done the homework, to have gone back through it to find it come. So when it's presented to us, we're not presented with something 2, 3, 5 years later, but whoops, we didn't catch this. We can do that, and I expect our staff to do that. Point well said, and I agree with you. Anything else on this issue? We're ready to move to the next agenda item.
Yes, the next agenda item is an appeal for Mr. Benjamin.
So far, I may make an inquiry about time here. We've got to vote about 20 minutes in this matter.
I have 10.